Okay, so in this video, I will start from Marshall's 10 beggars. Another study forwarded to me by its author is a 45-slide presentation called 10x return stocks in the last 15 years by Kevin Marshall at Martech Partners. Marshall presented it at the Value Investing Seminar in Trani, Italy, July 17, 2014. Although not focused on the 100 baggers, he found his inspirations in the same place I did. In Thomas Fell's book 100 to 1 in the stock market, Marshall cited George F. Baker's dictum mentioned in Fell's book that summarizes the idea to make money in stocks, you must have the vision to see them, the courage to buy them, and the patience to hold them. According to Phelps, patience is the rarest of the thrice. Marshall's study, as the title suggests, looked at 10 beggars over the last 15 years. He screened from about 21,000 listed companies with a market cap of at least 100 million. Out of this sample, he discovered 3,700 stocks, 18% of the initial sample, that returns 10 times. He found, as I have, that many were unpredictable, so he selected with a great degree of subjectivity a sample of 100 more predictable multi-bagger stocks, which is which a rational long-term oriented investor had a reasonable chance to identify, purchase, and hold over the long term. It's a good study. Some conclusions. There is no magic formula to find long term multi-baggers. A low entry price related to the company's long term profit potential is critical. Small is beautiful. 68% of multi-baggers in the selected sample were, were trading below a 300 million market cap at their low. Great stocks often offer expensive periods during which to buy them. Patience is critical. I had added that many of his chosen stocks had top management teams that made good capital decisions about how to invest company resources. There were often a large shareholder and entrepreneurial founder involved. This can overcome the growth hurdle. One interesting example here is AutoZone. It was 24 bagger in Marshall's study despite registering home growth rates of 2 to 5%. Yet AutoZone bought back huge sums of stocks which powered earning per share growth of 25% a year. This is a topic we will tackle more in chapter 11. Here comes earnings staircase. Another study is by Howard Hazelmar Jr. titled Ben Graham and the Growth Investor. Hazelman forwarded me his 50 slide presentation. He started by recognizing the attractions of investing in a powerful grower and sitting on your investment. A few of these attractions are the following: you can defer capital gains, you can trade less, you don't have to worry about timing. Hazelman's study is not a 100 bagger study, but his emphasis his emphasis is on growth stocks that become multi-baggers. But what about all those studies that show how value investing beats growth investing? Well, that's because of the traps. An obvious trap is that investors often overpay for growth. It might seem with 100 baggers that you don't have to worry about the price you pay, but a simple mental experiment shows this is not quite right. Let's say we have two companies A and B, both start with $1 in earning per share, both will earn $20 in earnings per share in their 20th year, and let's say at the end of year 10, both stocks will trade for 500 per share or 25 times earnings. Now let's say in year 1 you can buy A for 5 times earnings and $5 per share, and B you can buy for 50 times earning or $50. At the end of 20 years you will have 100 bagger in A. Earnings will have gone up 20 fold and the price earning ratio 5 fold. The combination gets a 100 bagger. In B you will have a 10 bagger after 20 years. That's not bad, but it's way worse than 100 bagger. 10,000 investment in A will turn into a $1 million at the end of 20 years. A 10,000 investment in B will become 10th 1 lakh dollar. So it may seem that the price paid didn't matter. Certainly few would complain about a 10 bagger, but the truly big return comes when you have both earning growth and a rising multiple. Ideally you had have both working for you. My thought experiment might be extreme, but it serves to make the point that you can't just willy-nilly buy pricey growth stocks and expect to come up with 100 baggers. Another trap is that earnings alone has many limitations. Heiserman shows the following: earnings omits investment in fixed capital, so when capital expenditures are greater than depreciations, the net cash drain is excluded. Earnings omit investment in working capital, so when receivables and inventory grow faster than payables and accrued expenses, the net cash drain is excluded. Intangible growth producing initiatives such as R&D, promo, advertising, and employee education are expenses, even though the benefits will last for several accounting periods. Stockholders' equity is free even though owners have an opportunity cost. In other words, company can spend $50 to create $1 in earnings. If you look at each earnings per share, then you will ignore the cost to generate those earnings. The point here is you can't focus on earnings alone. I don't want to get into the ins and outs of accounting and security analysis in this book, but one thing, there are plenty of books that will teach you why the above is true. Phelps recommended Benjamin Graham and David Todd's security analysis for those who want a textbook on security analysis. And 43 years later, that recommendation is still a good one. But secondly, the quest for 100 beggars is not about security analysis per se. Conceptual power is more important. There is no amount of security analysis that is going to tell you a stock can be a 100 bagger. It takes vision and imagination and a forward looking view into what a business can achieve and how big it can get. Investing is a reductionist art, and he who can boil things down to essential wins. What security analysis can do is weed out the dudes, those companies that don't create value even though they show great growth in earnings. I will have shortcuts to way of thinking about these problems later in the book. But to get back to Heiserman found a bunch of great examples of multi-baggers. It reads like a greatest hits collection from stock market, Microsoft, Cisco, Dell, Chicos, Google, Paychecks, Hansen, and more. He say earning just seem to step higher and higher like going up a staircase. All of these studies show us that past multibaggers enjoyed strong growth for a long time. In the next chapter, let's look at what I discovered when I looked at that population of 100 beggars I pulled from 1962 through 2014. So thank you guys. Here I completed the fourth chapter of 100 beggars book. And if you like my book reading and want to improve by reading books, want to improve your English by reading books, and here you are getting an additional knowledge of investing. So here you are getting a knowledge of investing, and side by side along with you are learning English. So this is my approach of learning both investing and English, because we everyone should know about how to invest at their personal finance, how to manage their finance. So that's why I choose these books. And I have many plans in the future to read like these books. So please subscribe this video if you like. Thank you.